recurring problem for him.
Great job by Kid Gilchrist there defensively.
Sets up Lamb for a three. Knocks it down.
Early on, I mentioned don't turn the ball off.
How hard MKG plays is how hard these two guys work on the Red and Blue Review. I mean, they're constantly diving on the floor to give us great insight and analysis. He's got the floor burns to prove it. Hey, Gary Gupton in the gang. Going to talk a little basketball here, the red and blue variety. Say hello to Daryl Bird of the Cat's Paws.
And I'm actually going to take it a little easy on Louisville this week. We had so much fun last week with lowering the bar, that they were good at limbo and all that. So this week we'll just say, that Big East that is so dominating, the conference that invented basketball, 10-10 against the SEC. That pitiful little SEC is 10-10 against the almighty Big East this year.
I don't think Howie's going to talk about Tennessee beating UConn. Are you, Howie?
Brutal. Come on, UConn. Didn't they know that we were going to talk about that on this show? Tennessee is actually coming on really strong, and UConn just played awful. But the Big East has not been as strong this year as they were in years past. Hopefully that means that the Louisville can get a few more wins. The win at Pittsburgh was certainly a good one for them.
Had to get it. Hey, we're going to be talking about just how big the wins Kentucky and Louisville celebrated over the weekend in our lightning round. The Lightning Round brought to you by Kentucky Corner, locations in Louisville and in Elizabethtown, and go to the internet at KentuckyCornerOnline.com. Well, who's hot for the University of Kentucky is free throw shooting. I'm not sure that's ever been said about a John Calipari coached basketball team. The Cats did not score a basket in the last 7.5 minutes. All 15 points came from free throws. Mr. Clutch himself, Darius Miller, hitting 4 big ones to seal it for the Cats.
And I like that. I like the fact that he held that ball to get fouled. I like the fact that Marcus Teague made his fouls. That's a good thing, because now when you're point guard and you have Duran and Darius are all making free throws, the free throws we had to make down the stretch, we have a nice will to win.
Two things about this. One, they opened 4 of 11, so it was not a very good start.
Yeah.
And to be able to regroup, to refocus when you had to late and to actually hit the shots to preserve the win against a very good Alabama team is one thing. The second, the Darius Miller, maybe he's a little too timid, maybe he's this or that, the on-off switch we've talked about forever. How about him coming across midcourt and saying, I'm taking it. I want to be at the foul line when my team has to have me at the foul line. And he was not even close to missing any of those 4. Drained them all, and then the freshman, Anthony Davis, who struggled early in the year, had the final 2 free throws to wrap it up.
Who's hot for the University of Louisville is Kyle Couric, who's really had a very tepid basketball season so far this year, but he is the glue, Rick Pitino says, that holds this team together, and he was Mr. Stick-to-it last night as he knocked down 5 threes for the Red.
21 points for you tonight. You didn't know how that ankle would do. We saw you stretching over here a little bit, bouncing around. How you feeling?
I feel great. Just tried to make a drive and tried to shot fake and just playing it wrong. So tweaked it a little bit, came out to the side. Just want to keep it warm so it wouldn't stiffen up.
Tweaked a little bit, but it's okay, right?
Oh, it's perfectly fine.
This guy was amazing. I mean, my goodness. Even Friday, they were thinking probably wouldn't play. Saturday, they thought, I don't know how much he's going to play at all. I had several people say, oh, no way, his ankle sprain's too bad, all that kind of thing. He apparently practiced just a little bit before the game, and it was good enough for the coaches to say, all right, I think he's going to play. And did he play? Man, 21 points. He looked like as fresh as he's looked all season.
Yeah. Who's not hot for the University of Kentucky? Anthony Davis. I don't think we've said that all year, but AD started out really struggling against Alabama. Part of that's because Alabama played him very physically. It seemed like every time Davis tried to make a move, there's a Crimson Tide player smashing into him.
They never left him. So all they did was made sure there was a body on him. Somebody's hip was on him 24/7 until the game ended. As a matter of fact, they put a hip on him in the post-game handshake, too. So it was somebody's on his body so he can't block, so he can't jump. Just stay on him.
And he still finished with 11 points and 9 rebounds. Not bad, as Anthony Grant, the Alabama coach, said. I think any coach in this league would take that from a freshman. But this would be the best thing that happened to Anthony Davis, is he's been able to use his athleticism, high-flying, blocking shots left and right. Bama is huge inside. You don't realize you get to see them up close and personal. They've got a lot of big bodies, and they banged him. It wasn't anything illegal. It wasn't too physical where you're sitting there saying, come on, refs, give the kid a break. They just put bodies on him the entire night. It's a really smart strategy by Bama. And now Davis has got to go back and say, okay, this is what they've done. How do I change my game to get around that?
Well, can he do that? I mean, he's not going to get bigger or stronger in the next few days, so what does he do?
He'll learn post moves. He'll learn how to get away from that contact. If they're coming to him, he'll anticipate it, get away from it, roll around this way, so he'll spin backwards like he's done and get the alley-oops, and he'll figure out a way.
What's not hot for Louisville is the typical foul trouble that Gorky finds himself in. He stayed clear of all the harm against Pitt, so he posted another double-double, 13 points, 14 rebounds.
Gorky's foul trouble is from inexperience. His fouls aren't good fouls, you know, and every time he's gotten in early foul trouble, he does. If you tell him to be careful, he plays really subpar. You're better off going without him because he just gets out of the way and doesn't understand how to play in foul trouble. So he's a very inexperienced player with that. So I don't want to tell him to be careful because then he doesn't guard, he doesn't block shots, and he's of no value. So we have to get him to what we're working on right now is what we call walling up to the person. Is, you know, when somebody throws the ball inside, move your feet and just wall up to him. Don't try to block shots on the ball.
And he is getting better at it. I think the other thing that's really helping him is that the guards are staying in front of their men a little bit better, and so he's not having to pick up those fouls by rotating over. He does still pick up fouls that way, but if you look at the rest of Louisville's season, without Stephen Van Treese, without Rakeem Buckles, with only Zach Price behind him, Gorgui Dieng staying in or out of foul trouble is probably the biggest stat of the season for Louisville the rest of the way. He looked like his wingspan was off the charts last night. Some of the plays that he made was phenomenal. Well, and I think it helps that, you know, Pitt had a couple of 6'9" guys that were not real long and lanky athletic. So he just dominated, and he can do that against some opponents. The buzz at the University of Kentucky is Cal's been saying for quite some time that Kentucky is cruising for a losing, and I'm telling you, if that game against Alabama was played in Tuscaloosa, Kentucky would have probably been a loser.
I have no idea. I can't explain the 14 one-footers we missed in the first half either. I mean, we missed, you know, 7 free throws and 14 one-footers in the first half, and we're lucky we were in the game. You know, you have teams like this that are physical, have some maturity, are playing for their lives. But I'm going to tell you, we got to play better in this because instead of it being a 2 or 4 point game, we're going to be down 8 or 10. And we're going to get caught in that kind of situation.
He's right. So far they've been able to, they never lost the lead to Alabama, which I always thought was huge. They never got that mental edge to say, okay, we finally climbed out, we're going to get them. And they had the home court advantage. Now you get to go to Georgia, to LSU. You're not playing as well as Cal wants. You're cruising for it. And you're going to be the newly anointed #1 team in the nation. Perfect. You've got students waiting to storm the court in Athens, just waiting to say, come on, boys, come on down here. You better get your act together really quick.
Well, the buzz at the University of Louisville is, as we said, Louisville absolutely had to win that game over Pitt. It was a must-win. In fact, Pitino and Kyle Couric had a different name for it.
Heading into this game, the team is 2-5 in the last 7 games. Coach called this gigantic game, didn't need to panic. What do you guys call this win?
It's big. We both need a big win. They really did, so did we. And I'm just glad we came together as a team, and we finally got a road win.
You can hear it in his voice. Finally got a road win. Thanks so much.
In hearing from Rick Pitino after the game, he said whoever lost this game would absolutely have their backs up against a wall, and that is Pittsburgh. Thankfully not Louisville, because Pittsburgh at this point is 0-7 in the league. And you really, you know, to get to the NCAA tournament, I think you've got to have somewhere close to a 500 record. So at this point, Pittsburgh's got to go like 9-2 the rest of the way, which is almost impossible. So from Louisville's standpoint, now they're 3-4. They can climb out of that hole. Pittsburgh climbing out of an 0-7 hole, I don't think it happens. Yeah, they did not look very good. That team looks like it's lost more than any this year, but they've got a lot of their players back. It's just a chemistry issue or something. They're not nearly what they were. Well, Howie, Sonny Gore, who watches our show, has an issue with something that you said last week on the show. Check this out. Hey, Howie, great statement about Bama and UK being alike. Quote, they both cheat. That's what a loser says, and only a loser tears down others to build themselves up. I love it. Thank you, Sonny. Hey, here's the thing. I didn't think it was all that controversial from what I said. I mean, Kentucky's clearly one of the cheatingest programs of all time. They've had probation after probation
my
after
goodness.
probation, all the way up into the 90s. You finally got clean as a program. And what do? You just like an addict, you go right back to it and hire the most notorious coach in all of college basketball.
Who's never been accused of doing anything wrong.
Tell that to UMass and Memphis.
Oh, that
I didn't
is
think
too
it was
good.
that controversial. I'm sorry.
All right, well, here's something that absolutely everyone can agree on. Special Olympics. The polar plunge is coming up, and these two guys are going to raise their game to raise money for Special Olympics of Kentucky. We call it the polar plunge. These guys heading to Lexington. Daryl, take it from there.
Actually, the blue side will raise more money than the red. If the red does, they will obviously have cheated at some point to pull that off. There's no way they do that without cheating. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so very cold, but that's fine.
We don't cheat. All right, ever.
Hey,
I hope you're not cheating the way you're recruiting. My goodness.
All you have to do is go to SOKY.org, click on that red and blue plunge challenge. You can help Daryl and Howie raise money for Special Olympics. Well, Cows will prove to us that win over Alabama proves that maybe Kentucky fans really are spoiled. And the guy who spoils them more than anybody is Daryl Bird with the Cat's Paws.
Thank you, sir. We got the newspaper that comes out every week. We also have the website, catspaws.com. Tons of coverage from the game against Alabama last night. 5 stories, I do believe, plus a photo gallery. Tons of recruiting news with the signing of Derek Willis this week and closing in so very fast on football signing day. We'll have that wall to wall as well. Catspaws.com.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
When you need a truck, Bachman Chevrolet is your truck headquarters. I'm Teresa Bachman. Even during our construction, we have more trucks than any other dealer. Silverado, Colorado, Tahoe, or Suburban, Bachman is your #1 Chevrolet truck dealer. Nobody beats Bachman's price or selection on any Chevrolet, including Traverse and Equinox. Chevrolet has what you need, and Bachman Chevrolet has what you want. Bachman makes the difference.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
We're going to be talking about a win for red and a win for blue that probably should have and could have been a loss for both in our Game Time storylines. As Daryl mentioned in the first segment, Anthony Davis really did struggle in that basketball game, and it was Kentucky's first opportunity really to be challenged physically from one end of the court to the other. And I'm guessing it was so physical, the Kentucky basketball players probably felt as though they were playing Alabama's national champion football players.
But 6 guys in double figures, 9 assists, 8 turnovers. But we still, it was a very physical game, and we didn't, especially to start, we weren't able to play through the physical play. And that's going to be, until we learn to do that, every team's going to play us that way.
I'm really sure, but Cal harps on this every single game. We don't start physical enough at the very beginning. We're not bringing it to the opponent. We're not getting in there and banging. They figure it out as the course of the game. He wants them starting out much faster, much tougher to start the game, but you end up with 6 guys in double figures, which is a rarity. I think we're probably the only team in the country with 6 players averaging in double figures, and this game was good for them. That was a little bit like a Sweet 16 with Elite 8 feel, as rough as they let them play, because you know the referees are going to let them play that rough once March Madness gets here.
Well, you look at a kid like Renardo Sidney at Mississippi State who walks up and down the court, but this dude is a beast. When you have a kid like Anthony Davis, who's going to give up probably 75 or 80 pounds to him, I don't know how you overcome that.
You get down the floor before they do and score is what you do. You don't let them set up. Jarnell Stokes, Tennessee, is a monster. You're right. That is an issue. And we knew going into the season, they're slender. They're going to get their offensive rebounds and the rebounds with athleticism. They're going to go up and take it off the top of the square before you have a chance to get it off the top of the rim.
They got to go fast. Well, that should have probably been a Kentucky loss, and I'm telling you, Pitt let one get away from them. They were absolutely reeling, but then so was Louisville. That was a game that Pittsburgh should have and could have won, but Rick Pitino says what carried the day for the Cards was the positive attitude of his players.
Their attitude, I think they have a great attitude. They work their tails off. They're a great group of guys. They're very close-knit. They're very, they don't get discouraged. And so I think their attitude is the thing that I think is going to help us win games. I don't think we'll get discouraged. I don't think we'll get down about injuries. I don't think any of that is. I think they're so used to it from last season that I don't think anything gets them down. I think they say, okay, the next guy's got to step up. Come on, we got to win games.
It could have easily gone south. I mean, easily gone south. You could have seen. We could have gone to this Pittsburgh game with everything Pittsburgh had on the line, and just seen a Pitt blowout. I mean, they had everything going for them, the game day stuff, and they get their point guard back, and they're back to full steam, and a Louisville team that's kind of struggling. And had they not had a better attitude, Pitt could have ran away with this. But Louisville's never say die attitude, I think, is really going to be what carries them into the NCAA tournament. And if they start getting some kind of chemistry on the floor, it could be what carries them into a decent postseason run. I mean, I don't want to put too much on them yet, but it could.
A lot of the talk about Louisville this year is the lack of leadership that they lost when Preston Knowles moved on. If they still are looking for the guy that has that leadership quality, who's the guy that's helping to animate the positive attitude that they have?
I think Russ Smith is a big part of that. He's so gregarious. I mean, he's the guy that will smack Pitino on the butt during a timeout. I mean, Francisco Garcia could get away with that. Terrence Williams could, and Russ Smith.
And Howie.
And me, that too.
Hey, the next topic for our discussion tonight on the Kentucky side talks about really how good this Alabama team is. Now, the score was pretty close. Kentucky fans probably like to have a 25 or 30-point win, but Cal says, hey, don't be spoiled by our success.
I mean, what's happened for us here is we're all spoiled. If we don't win by 25, what's going on? Part of it is, you don't believe this, but they have scholarships too. And we're not, they're good. They're a team that's now they're 13-6. They're not afraid. They got some veteran guys out there who play well. There's some things we did good. I'll watch the tape and get a better idea of it. But right now, I'm just kind of happy we get a W and move.
Yeah, Alabama's very good. In the old, they would have been #1 in the old SEC West before they just went to one huge division. So, but they're a good team. Jermichael Green is all grown up now. I remember what a talent he was as a freshman. Now he's got a lot of meat on those bones. Relaford had a huge game. They've got a kid that Calipari won a very bad freshman playing for them. This is a really good team that should make a lot of noise in postseason. The rest of the SEC hasn't done a great job of carrying their load once March Madness gets here, but Alabama certainly has the potential to do it.
John Claver's writing for the Herald Leader. He thought the crowd was kind of dead and out of it. What was your sense in the arena? Did you sense a little bit of kind of sitting on the hands watching?
I wouldn't say dead and out of it. It wasn't the big rivalry. It wasn't Louisville and Carolina, so maybe it spoiled us, right? That they expect, well, it's Alabama. We're going to win anyway. This is, we're great. We're going to blow everybody out, and then they're not. And Alabama managed to keep the pace down and really milk the shot clock, which makes it hard for the crowd to get into it too.
Yeah. You know, we hear a lot about players-only meetings. Well, at Louisville this year, they've had a lot of coaches-only meetings because the fewer players you have, the more creative the coaches have to be to figure out how in the world can we win.
We meet more than we've ever met as a staff this year because we're, you know, our meetings all the time is one, okay, here's what we have. How does it relate to the team we're playing? You know, what are they going to play us? What are they going to do? And how can we keep this small group together without? And so the last 5 minutes of the game, we're able to play with that small group.
And I imagine that they're having those kind of meetings every day. I mean, at this point, they could have gone into Pittsburgh missing 6 different guys on their team. It ended up being only 4. 2 guys, you know, Kyle Keurig played, and Kevin Ware played just a little bit. But they've got, at this point, to try to figure out, okay, which 5 can we keep on the floor? How do we play Zach Price just a little bit so Gorgie will be there at the end? How do we play Kevin Ware and Elisha Justice just a little bit so Peyton Siva just doesn't fall over dead tired? So that's what they're trying to figure out as a coaching staff.
Hey, and I can't leave this aside without saying Elisha Justice came in that game, provided, I think, no turnovers and maybe 3 or 4 assists, something like that.
Solid.
Maybe more than that. That's a huge game for that kid.
Big time. And if he can provide 6 minutes, that's all we need. 6 minutes, and that's great for Peyton Siva.
When we come back, we'll introduce you to the high school recruit who is the difference maker for Kentucky and Louisville. And we'll tell you about that after Howie tells us about CardinalSports.com.
You got it. All recruiting all the time these days. We've got about a week and a half till signing day for football, and you need to check out CardinalSports.com. We've also got basketball coverage, of course, you know, post-game stuff and in-game chat and all that kind of stuff from basketball. We got a 7-day free trial if you want to check it out. CardinalSports.com.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, The Falls Golf Resort, The Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.
I feel that I'll be prepared to play at this college level, and this is why I'm choosing the University of Kentucky.
He seems overjoyed.
He did. You see that little bit of smile?
Derek Willis, a kid from Bullitt East, the junior committing to play at the University of Kentucky. Now, just a few months ago, he made the same announcement about going to Purdue, but over the summer, his game really grew, and so did his options, and now Derek Willis says he is good enough to take his game to UK.
Who was it that set them apart from the other three schools?
You know, the best players in the nation go there, so, you know, I want to be a part of that. You know, I kind of got in my head around, let's see, about around December is when I got in my head that, you know, I wanted to go to Kentucky.
Now, you went and saw practices from Kentucky and from Louisville. What was it different about the Kentucky practice that you said, I want to be a part of this team?
You know, every practice I went to, it was real intense, but, you know, I mean, I just really like Kentucky.
A couple of things there. He's the first early signee for Calipari since Calipari got to UK, and he's very smart. If you have seen the talent in the class of 2013, grab that scholarship right now. Absolutely, smart move. Think Kyle Wilcher with a little more athletic ability. Think Darius Miller when he was first coming in. He's probably maybe equal, a little better than Darius was. He's a good player. He's skilled set, and Howie and I were talking before the show. He's a typical high school kid. He's stuck playing in the paint. He's better than that. Let him get out and get a little breathing room. You really see him turn on. It may take him a couple years to fit in and to really get in the flow of the offense and to really contribute, but he could be a good one.
Once he decommitted from Purdue, Louisville had a built-in advantage to signing this kid. Not only does he play basketball in the neighboring county to U of L, but his dad is a huge Louisville fan.
Now, your dad, everyone knows, kind of was a big U of L fan. What was that like? Did you guys talk about that a lot?
You know, he wanted me to go, you know, wherever I wanted to go, and he was going to support me 100%, so.
I know a lot of your family are Louisville fans. You feel like they're going to have a choice to make here in their future?
No, I mean, they're going to support me, so, you know, they're ready for it.
You know, you can try and try and try, but sometimes your kids just don't get it. No, here's the thing. It is a great choice for him. He fits in really well with that dribble drive offense. I don't think he fits in as well with Louisville's offense. But, boy, it's a tough blow to Louisville, recruiting that kid for so long.
Well, even if Louisville can't use him, there's some kids that you just recruit because you don't want Kentucky to have them. And that's
exactly
one of those kids. Hey, we're glad we got these guys and you guys watching us here every week on the Red and Blue Review.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, the Falls Golf Resort, the Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your